Hello, I'm Kirsteen, and this is Kirsteen's Aesthetic Art and Travel. And I'm going to tell you about making things from silver clay. This is an overview. I'm going to talk about the basic steps of the process. I may well make some much more detailed videos, but this would be video one. What is it? How does it work? The reason I've created this channel is that I've learned a lot about art in my life. I've taught art to lots of people, adults and children. I've run arts festivals and workshops, and I feel like I'd like to be able to pass that on to anyone who's interested. So the first thing you're going to need in order to make something with silver clay is inspiration, a starting point, which is why I recommend that you take photos when you go places, that you draw and sketch, that you maybe collect interesting objects, input, so that when you sit down and think, what will I make? You have books and files full of the answer. The next thing that you're going to do is to think about design. How is it going to fit on the body? So there's a difference between fine art and design. Fine art is making something to suit yourself, making something that you just think, yeah, that's nice, that's pretty, that's what I want to make. Design is making something for an end use. When I was at university doing my Bachelor of Arts in design, they would tell us until we were sick of hearing it, design for the end use, but it was excellent advice. A design is going to go somewhere, someone's going to wear it, someone's going to sit on it, someone's going to have to carry it. So it's no longer making something to suit yourself, it's making something to suit a very specific purpose. So when you're designing, think about how will it sit, will it lie the right way up, how will someone wear it or use it. If it's a little sculpture or something, then that doesn't apply because you just think about how will it look from every side, what do I want to communicate, without the restrictions of end use. But in the case of jewellery, it should sit the right way up, it should be comfortable, it shouldn't have sharp bits. Now you don't need a lot of tools for silver clay. Silver clay is basically powdered silver, and you get other metal clays, but I've been using silver clay, and a little bit of organic material, 1% of organic material, that makes it into a kind of dough or clay, which is quite hard to work. It's quite short, which means that when you bend it, it cracks easily. So what I have done is at first I was making objects straight away with the clay, but I found that it was so difficult to work with. It went easily sticky if you added water. It bent easily and broke easily while you're making things. So what I have done is found clays that were easier to work with, like milliput, self-hardening clays like the one in this picture here, and made objects, and then got a 2-part mold medium, which you can see the object stuck into in this picture. That's the mold medium that dries into a rubbery thing. That's the actual silver clay in that picture, little packets of it. And you make an object out of the milliput clay, and then you stick it in a mold like you see in this picture. And you can see the little hook that I've stuck in as well, because remember, it's an object to wear. And then the fun bit, you blowtorch it. You can get little ovens for these things. So here I am making something directly out of silver clay, and that works too, but like I say, it was easier to make something out of a more malleable, more workable clay like milliput, and then make a mold, and then just push the silver clay into the mold. Plus you get to make multiples of the thing. Yeah, and the fun bit is they need fired. They need the organic material taken away. It needs heated. So you can do this with a blowtorch, or you can buy little ovens for it. But a blowtorch is about £25 and a little oven is about 300. So I just got an upturned colander and a cooking blowtorch. You need to keep them this nice pink colour that you see in the picture for at least 3 minutes to burn away all the organic material. And you definitely need to do it in a well ventilated space. I had a room with a Juliet balcony, one of these balconies that doesn't actually have an outside bit, but the doors just open onto a huge window. And I used to put it right beside that balcony so that all the fumes would go straight out. So you do the well ventilated space and you blowtorch it for 3 minutes, set a little timer on your phone or your watch or whatever, and then you'll see it shrinks a little bit because the organic material is burning away and you get some flames, and then you're left with nothing but the silver, which goes a kind of whitish color because it's covered in burned off organic material. That's my little cooking blowtorch you can see there. Then you need to polish it. First, get brushes like these brushes and scrape off the white stuff. It takes quite a while polishing because you need to do it quite carefully as well. So you start with wire brushes and scraping off all the white stuff, and then as you can see I have emery boards for nails, and I'm doing finer and finer and finer polishing. And then you can see white ones in the top corner which haven't had the stuff scraped off, and as they gradually go shiny. Finally, you're left with a lovely shiny object, which is still able to be further shined with a burnishing tool. A burnishing tool is something like a stone or something that you compress the silver clay with, and therefore when it's compressed it gets a harder, shinier surface. These are agate burnishing tools, so you can see it's a piece of stone, a piece of lovely smooth agate attached to a stick like a paintbrush, and you use it to press down on the jewellery and compress areas of it, and it really makes a difference to the shine, and it's fun. So you press it and you love seeing it come up really shiny. And then because it's a piece of jewellery, it needs a device to hang it on you. So you need to attach a chain or you need to attach a hook. These things get described as findings, jewellery findings. So if you're trying to order chains and hooks and things like that, you're looking for findings, and you need a little pair of pliers to attach them. And that's basically it. You can assemble the tools for, I don't know, not even £100, easily, quite well less than that. You know, if you want to set up a pottery or something, you're looking at a couple of thousand by the time you've got a kiln and everything. But to make this silver clay, by far the most expensive thing was the clay itself, and yeah, a few £100 worth of tools. Now here we've got these dark ones and interesting colours. You can buy agents to make the silver dark and then polish bits back off again, but in my case I just put them in a plastic bag with a chopped up boiled egg, and that works really well. It discolours and tarnishes the silver, and then you can polish it back up on the areas you want not to be black. But personally I preferred them bright, so most of these different designs you can see are bright. It's super fun. Obviously, if you made things with plasticine since you were a little kid, it helps with the tiny sculpture skills. And all jokes aside, that is the perfect way to practice what you're going to make, so that you can make and remake. You get yourself 5 little grams of plasticine and just make and remake and make and remake until you know what you're going to do, and then you can make it out of the milli pot, and then you put it into the mold, and then you squish the silver clay into the mold, and then you fire it when it's dried, and then you scrub off all the white residue, and then polish it and burnish it, and then finally put the findings on it, and then you should model it so that you can show it off to your friends. Final thing is to test it. Wear it, and if it doesn't feel comfortable, me and my daughter wore them around for a week at least before we decided they were acceptable designs. This is the really important step. Don't let yourself get away with bad design. If you wear it and it breaks after only a couple of wearings, or you wear it and the sharp bit's always catching on your ear, file a bit off, go back to the drawing board, reject that design and make another one. I think it's a hugely missed step. A number of times when I've bought myself a backpack and it constantly slips off my shoulders, or I've bought myself a bag to carry around, for example, and it trails on the ground, and yet I'm not particularly short for a woman. I'm short, but I'm not abnormally short. So nobody stood there with a woman's body and went, yeah, this shopping bag's the right height for an average woman. That testing, that did you sit in the chair or did you wear the jewellery, will teach you so much. And it's better to do that if you are going to sell it than to have potential customers sending it back. Obviously, you might get some of them anyway, but you can test it yourself first. And yeah, and then have fun doing lovely photo shoots on the Devon coast, which is what we've got here. So that's the very basics of how you make objects with silver clay. And thank you very much for watching Kirsteen's Aesthetic Art and Travel. Goodbye.